Hello, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished scholars, professors, innovators of the Iranian-American community. My name is Alidad Mafinezam. I am delighted to be joining you today through this medium. Let me begin by thanking the Sharif University of Technology Association, the Iranian Americans Contributions Project, and of course the University of California, Irvine and its Jordan Center for Persian Studies for making today's event possible. I was hoping to be with you in person today, but sadly some bureaucratic visa issues prevented me from joining you in person. And I thought the second best thing to do was to tape a brief message of what I wanted to discuss with you. I want to begin by congratulating the organizers for the spirit of cooperation and bringing numerous organizations together to put up this event on innovation. And I think that itself is an innovative task. Some people say that certain communities don't collaborate as much as they could. And here we have an instance that shows that that's not the case, that cooperation, social innovation happens. And so I have been delighted and privileged to assist with this event from Toronto. And I wanted to take just a few minutes and talk about the importance of the Iranian-American community as an immigrant community in advancing innovation and scientific leadership in the U.S., and what some of the history of that is, and where we see some of the gaps that we could together work on filling, both intellectual gaps, scholarly and academic gaps, but also practical gaps in day-to-day life. And really the amazing achievements of the Iranian-American community are an example of what happened really in a generation or two after the U.S. passed in 1965 its seminal and profoundly important Immigration Reform Act. At that stage, the doors of the U.S. were opened in 1965 to the immigration of skilled talent, abolishing racial quotas and opening the door to the immigration of millions of outstanding Asian Americans and many others from all over the world to the U.S. and making profound contributions during this period to the scientific technological leadership of the U.S. and to the culture of innovation and advancement that really typifies America. Now, the 1965 Immigration Reform Act really built on the work of John F. Kennedy, who in 1958, as a senator from Massachusetts, had penned a 100-page book called A Nation of Immigrants. In this book, John Kennedy talks about how America is built on an idea and how it is a dynamic national community that moves forward by the constant and ongoing immigration of people from all over the world to the U.S., and how this is at the core of the dynamic American spirit. He talks about some of the challenges that Irish Americans had faced and other Americans upon coming to America over the decades and into the 20th century. And that book really is a seminal document, the book by John Kennedy, A Nation of Immigrants, in the sense that after he passed from the scene tragically in '63 and Lyndon Johnson became president, through his leadership, through, in this case, Lyndon Johnson's leadership, in 1964 there was the Civil Rights Act, which really preceded and laid the groundwork for the Immigration Reform Act. I mean, American civil rights and the opening of American immigration and abolishing racial quotas really happened at the same time. And our organization, West Asia Council, has focused over the past few years on the importance of communities from Asia, and this includes the Iranian-American community because we are from West Asia, just as Turkish Americans, Israelis, Armenians, Kurds, Arabic-speaking Americans, all of these communities and more are from what is known as Middle East. We call it West Asia, nonetheless part of Asia. So when we talk about the Asian American community, it includes our community. And when you put all of us, or in the case of the US, all the Asian American community together, it totals to 25 million people, 8% of the US population. And the majority of this population has immigrated to the US in the past 1 or 2 generations, again, beginning in the mid-60s. And as I mentioned, played a profound role in American leadership. And I feel the potential, the capacity, and the amazing achievements of this group has been underdocumented and understudied. And one of the big gaps that we could together fill is to further discuss the importance of these communities in America by focusing not just on their amazing innovation in the sciences and the technology, engineering, and what have you, but also the way in which the Asian American communities help define and redefine American citizenship. And I feel that that is one gap that we could all work on filling by discussing not only the importance of these communities in their own respective technology and science fields, but more broadly, how these communities could gain a deeper presence in American philanthropy, in the social arena more broadly. And by that I mean, out of these 25 million people who are Americans, who hail from Asia, when we look at Hollywood, for example, can we name one Asian American actor that has moved us? Not just Iranian-American, any Asian American, right? Can we name a leading writer or significant writer in the New York Times, in the LA Times, in the Wall Street Journal, or other first-tier newspapers? Can people, those of us today here and elsewhere, can we immediately name a figure, a writer, a thinker from these communities whose voice, whose thinking is reflected in Hollywood, in the broadcast media, mainstream broadcast media, in first-tier journalism? And more broadly, since we're talking about the American public sphere, philanthropy. These are arenas in which the voices and the presence of the Asian American communities is well below its potential. And one of the major gaps that I hope our collaboration can help address is how we could bring that voice to these communities as Americans. And by voice, I don't mean activism per se. I mean the voice of knowledge. I mean the voice of innovation, the voice of entrepreneurship, the voice of community, so that these communities stake their place as an integral part of America or Canada or other immigrant receiving countries, and start playing a more significant role, not just in the arenas in which we have already seen such amazing breakthroughs as we've seen today, but also on television, but also in the newspapers, also in Hollywood, and most importantly, in terms of social innovation, ladies and gentlemen. The most important part of it, in my view, is the arena of philanthropy, where Iranian-American leaders, technologists, innovators, entrepreneurs, professors can, and I believe have an amazing opportunity today, more important than ever before, to establish a more significant presence in American philanthropy, in American impact investing, in American academia, in the technological fields and the scientific fields indeed, because that's where these communities, especially the Iranian-American community, are amazingly well established and shining so brightly. To build on that and to apply this to creating forums, intellectual forums, in which we can talk about the world more broadly. And combining the philanthropy of the Iranian-American community with the discussion of innovation, with the discussion of entrepreneurship, and most importantly, when we talk about what it is that we all have in common, e pluribus unum, out of many one, community. Meaning, how can we, through greater presence in philanthropy, greater presence in endowed chairs in American universities, how can we emerge from our often self-imposed cocoons and build ties to each other, to the broader American family, and to play as significant a role in defining innovation, in defining the very distinctly American values of inclusiveness, of a society that's built and in whose DNA an idea is enshrined, that it's not where you're from, but whether you uphold a series of values in America's DNA going back in the modern, in the recent decades, to that book by Kennedy. I think this notion is one that offers the Iranian-American community an amazing opportunity to shine even more brightly and to lead the way for us, members of the community of people who are originally Iranian, now Iranian too, but that indeed, but to open the door of social innovation to other immigrant communities, to other Asian American communities, and indeed to all people. And that's where I believe the Iranian American community can play an amazingly profound role, because this community's roots in the West, in the US, turns out are deeper since 1965 than those of, say, the Indo-American community or Chinese American community, because for a quarter of a century after the Second World War, there was no country in Asia and no country in the Muslim world that had the kind of deep relationship with the US that really presaged the amazing achievements of the Iranian American community in America today. It's building on those early links and the coming to America of so many amazingly bright minds and visionary souls that are going to chart a new path, I think, continuously. And so I hope that when discussing social innovation, we can return to the constant theme of empowerment through knowledge, and also the importance of joining more deeply in this dialogue in America, in Canada, and other democratic societies where we have the privilege of discussing things in the open and associating freely and having freedom of religion. And I feel availing ourselves of more of the privileges that these democratic societies, again, such as Canada and US, provide, I think will benefit everybody and will make all of us richer in every way. And on that note, let me thank you again. Let me thank all the organizers and congratulate you all. I am truly proud to be a member of this community. Thank you very much. Bye.
من پدر مادرم شیرازی هستم. اوایل 1300 به علت اون ناامنی‌هایی که در شیراز وجود داشت و به خاطر اینکه آبادان در حال رشد بود، از شیراز به آبادان کوچ کرده. در نتیجه من به سال دوره دبستانم رو در آبادان گذراندم. در دبستان فردوسی میرفتم. بعد برای دوره دبیرستان به دبیرستان رازی رفتم. 1 سال بعد از دبیرستان رفتم به آلمان. تحصیل شیمی رو که گذراندم، اونجا سیستم تحصیلیش طوریه که بهش میگن شما دیپلم شیمی میگیرید، که ما این دیپلم شیمی رو در ایران به نام فوق لیسانس شیمی معرفی میکردیم. بعد از اون خب چون من میخواستم، هنوز فکرم این بود که به شرکت نفت برم، از مونیخ با اعتراض استاد و رئیس دانشکده که این کارو نکن، من از مونیخ رفتم به شهر کارلزروه که کارلزروه یکی از بزاوی انستیتویی داشت، انستیتوی زغال سنگ و نفت. من رفتم اونجا و دکترا رو در اونجا گرفتم. این دوره‌ای که دوره آخری که در مونیخ بودم، در ضمن با خانمم هدویگ حجبری آشنا شدم. فامیل پدریش لینر هست و ازدواج کردیم.
دو تا بچه داریم، یکی اسم کوروش، یکی اسم اسیتا. 3 تا نوی داریم، ایشون هم هر 3 تا اسم ایرانی دارند، یکی آریانا، پیمان و آرمان. من با شوهرم تو آلمان آشنا شدیم، این دانشجو بوده، با هم آشنا شدیم، بعداً عروسی کردیم 61. شوهر من همیشه گفت خب من برمیگردم ایران، اگر دست من تموم شد من دیگه برمیگردیم ایران. اگر تو دوست داری بیا تشریف بیاورید، اگر نه من تنها میرم ایران.
ولی من بگم که من هیچ وقت از اینکه از ایران بروم خوشحال نبودم و یعنی هیچ وقت فکر نمی کردم در عمرم که این عمل اتفاق بیفتد. من رفته بودم برای فرصت مطالعاتی به اتفاقا همین دانشگاه UCSD در کالیفرنیا در سان دیگو. ولی درست مواجه شد با جریان انقلاب و بالاخره به انقلاب اسلامی انجام شد و فکر میکردم خب در محیط دانشگاهی خدمتمو ادامه میده. ولی متاسفانه معلوم شد که نه، جریان داره به سرعت تغییر میکنه.
من احمد عطار هستم، دانشجوی دوره اول دانشگاه صنعتی. حدود فکر کنم 3-4 ماه پیش بود آقای دکتر جبری یه ایمیل فرستاد که میخواد به یونیون 2000 داشته باشه. من فکر کنم جزو نفرات اولی بودم که حتما گفتم میام و تا اینجاش بسیار خوب بوده. امیدوارم که فردا جلساتی که خواهد بود توی اون جلسات بتونیم به یه نتیجه مثبت برسیم. نتیجه مثبت هم به نظر من این هستش که این خواهد بود که بتونیم از این گرد همایی ها استفاده بکنیم، با همدیگه بیشتر بتونیم همکاری داشته باشیم، لااقل برای مملکتمون یه کاری بکنیم.
1999 دکتر محمد رضا امین که رئیس دانشگاه ما بود و بعداً شد رئیس صنایع فولاد، یه روز به من تلفن زد و گفت که من خیال دارم یه جلسه‌ای بذارم توی لندن از تعدادی از این مدیران فولاد و در نتیجه چون عده‌ای هم با دکتر امین رفته بودن به صنایع فولاد، در نتیجه یه رابطه‌ای هم وجود داشت و چند نفرم از اینا باشه. گفتم خب کار خیلی خوبیه. اینا گفتم تو هم بیا. گفتم خب چند نفر فکر کنی بیای؟ گفت که والا فکر کنم مثلا حدود 20 نفر دعوت بکنیم. من گفتم دکتر امین ما تو مهمونی‌های خصوصی 20 تا دانشگاه داریم. حقیقت اینه من در فکر تشکیل یه انجمن دانشگاه هستم. در اومد به اون لهجه اصفهانی خودشون، فریدو میدونی که من اهل این کارا نیستم ولی بهت قول میدم اگر موفق شدی ازت حمایت میکنم.
چقدر این قضیه واقعا دل آدمو میلرزونه، به خاطر اینکه واقعا همه با یک عشقی جمع شدن اینجا. عشقی که همدیگه رو دو مرتبه پیدا بکنن و خاطره ها تازه بشه. شاید از این یک نهال تازه‌ای به دنیا بیاد و ما خیلی خوشحالیم که این داره انجام میشه.
سالایی که در دانشگاه تهران بودیم یه انجمنی درست کردیم به نام انجمن رفاه. در این کمیته رفاه خب دوستان منو به نام رئیس انتخاب کردن. این است که من با همه استادان در ارتباط بودم و بعداً هم این خواسته‌های رفاهی رو شامل کارمندانم کردیم. در نتیجه همه کارمندان هم منو به خوبی میشناختن. بعداً هم که به خارج اومدیم من ارتباطم رو واقعاً با اینا حفظ کردم. خلاصه قرار شد که بذاریم که بریم که اینو جمع بکنم دوباره. خب استادا رو به این ترتیب من میشناختم، آسون بود، ولی دانش فارغ التحصیلان مشکل تر بود. به هر کس میگفتم که چه که فارغ التحصیله میگفتن دیگه ازشون باشون ارتباط نداری.
سلام، من حسین نیکو هستم، دوره دوم دانشکده مهندسی شیمی دانشگاه صنعتی. منم از طریق اینترنت فهمیدم، از طریق آقای دکتر حجبری از اناربر میشیگان میام اینجا و خیلی لذت داره که بعد از سالهای سال تمام رفقا و دوستان اینجا دیدیم.
بعد از چند تا از انجمن‌های تخصصی ایرانی در کالیفرنیا، در تگزاس، از همه مهمتر از انجمن فارغ التحصیلان دبیرستان البرز که اینا خیلی با هم در ارتباط بوده، خواهش کردم اینو برای اعضاشون پخش کنن و خیلی لطف کردن این کار رو انجام دادن که بلافاصله نامه آمد، تماس گرفته شد و اتفاقا یکی از نامه‌های جالبی که اون موقع اومد، یکی از بچه‌ها سوال نوشته بود که دکتر جبری ما فارغ التحصیل دانشگاه شریف هستیم، ما نمیتونیم تو این جلسه شما بیاییم. من یه مرتبه واقعا متوجه شدم چه اشتباه بسیار بزرگی شده است و بلافاصله با دوستان که صحبت کردن گفتم که نه، عوض میکنیم به نام دانشگاه بسیار گرد همایی دانشگاه صنعتی شریف توی پرانتز آریامهر سابق.
به جرئت میشه گفت که اگر اندیشه، زحمات، فداکاری ها و مدیریت یکی از دوستان خوب ما نبود، امروز ما اینجا دور هم جمع نبودیم و صحبت از عشق و امید هم زمینه واقعی پیدا نمی کرد. همه شما این انسان دوست داشتنی رو میشناسید. اجازه میخوام که از ایشون دعوت بکنم که چند کلمه‌ای برای ما صحبت بکنن. خانم‌ها و آقایون، سمبل عینی عشق و امید، آقای دکتر فریدون حجبری.
دوستان نباید اصل ایده رو فراموش بکنن که ایجاد یک تشکیلات، یک تأسیسات است از دانشگاهیان در اینجا و این باید براشون ارزش داشته باشه. کارهای دیگر رو میشه به حساب یه قدری ازش گذشت، ولی کاری نکنیم که خود این انجمن به خطر بیفته و اینو حفظش بکنیم. فکر میکنم واقعا ما اون خطر سالهایی که میتوانست سوتا از بین بروه ازش گذشتیم. این است که حالا دیگه جا افتاده و اگر یکی هم به حساب دلخور بشه، به علتی کنار بره، بعد از مدتی دوباره خودش برمیگرده و یا افراد دیگه‌ای هستن که میان اونو جانشین میتونن بکنن. این است که من زیاد در اون خطری نمیبینم و خیلی خوشبینم که این سوتا به کار خودش ادامه خواهد داد.
افتخار دارم که از طرف کمیته برگزار کننده گرد همایی 2000 ما به همه شما بار دیگر خیر مقدم بگم. سلام گرم ما نه فقط به کلیه حضار در این جلسه است، بلکه به همه فارغ التحصیلان و همکاران دانشگاهی ما در ایران. ما به یاد آنها هستیم و به خصوص اون دوستانی که کوشش زیاد کردند که در جلسه امروز ما باشند و متاسفانه به علت اشکالات دیپلماتیک موفق به آمدن به اینجا نشدن.
خیلی وقتا ما فراموش میکنیم که همونطور گفتم اهمیت این چقدره و فکر میکنیم از بی خود وقتمون صرف این کار نکنیم، به جاش خب میتونیم کار دیگه انجام بدیم. ولی افراد موفق اینا در حالی که کار دیگرشون میکنن به این کارم علاقه دارن و اینا دنبال میکنن و امیدوارم اینطوری باشه و اینطوری به اصطلاح ادامه پیدا کنه و از همه واقعا میخوام که فراموش نکنن چقدر زحمت کشیده شده برای همین تشکیلاتی که ما داریم و برای این ارزش قائل بشه.
Hi everyone, I'm Nariman. I work for Qualcomm Corporation. I lead chips, and if you want to know what I do is I build the heart of your cell phones. So like almost all the smartphones in the world, our group does it. And I want to go to the presentation I had for this. But before that, I wanted to take this opportunity to say something. This event was amazing, really amazing, truly amazing. Even 1/4 of the level of talent and experts that we had in this room could have been a success, and this was beyond any imagination. If I may, I wanted to ask all the organizers to please come over here and stand by this screen. And I want everyone to acknowledge them, please. I know some of you guys are behind the scene, but everyone, if you could please come over here. This is really important for us to recognize, actually all of us are leads in industries, in schools, and so as a result, we know what level of effort something to put up something like that would take. And please come over here and stand over here. And I wanted to ask everyone if you could please rise and give them a standing ovation. Thank you so very much. We had actually in this room we had everyone for different sciences. We had entrepreneurs. We had executives. We had from different fields. We had honorable judge. We had people from biology, cosmology. We had a couple of interviews. We had audio, video. Everything was well organized, well planned. It was amazing. And I wanted to say something else actually, that is very close and dear to my heart. And if I share with you, actually, you also recognize that. Omid and Seper put a whole lot of time for this effort. And actually, that happened through the time that Seper had his dad also fairly suddenly, basically passed during this time. And they put the time during this really hardship. And I really wanted everyone to understand that such level of effort and in such time was put behind that. Thank you so much. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so this I go through a brief history of the SUTA Awards, and then I go to present the winners of this year. And this presentation was originally created by Jalil Kamali, and he's working for Samsung. He could not be here because we have a parallel session also happening in Seattle. And they are presenting some awards in there, and he actually had to fly there, and as a result, I have to present this award. Okay, so the first award is Dr. Moshtahedi's Innovation Award. So that's so fitting because this is an innovation forum. So, and Dr. Moshtahedi, obviously the founder of the Sharif University, the organization that bonds everyone in this room together. And this award is a recognition of the best research conducted in every department of Sharif University. So it's pretty comprehensive. And the applications are reviewed by Sharif alumni and in academia and also in the industry. And it has been held since 2010, 16, 18. We had those awards being presented. The winners of this year that were already presented the award to them were from chemical and petroleum engineering, Mrs. Zara Rezai and Dr. Manucher Rusughi for using microbiosensors for prostate cancer diagnosis. And from mechanical and industrial engineering, we had Mr. Masoud Madad Elahi and Dr. Amir Shamlu for Newtonian and generalized Newtonian reacting flows in serpentine macro channels, pressure-driven and centrifugal microfluidics. And from electrical engineering, we had the winner, Mr. Samizadeh, Dr. Fuhar Farzaneh, and Dr. Hashemi for the theory of nonlinear transmission lines with lumped elements. The second award is basically named after, okay, oh, sorry. Actually, sorry, yeah. I was going through this one. So the second award is named after Dr. Amin, the same person that Dr. Hojabri was talking about. And that's the Lifetime Achievement Award for Sharif University alumni. That's a recognition of an individual with outstanding contributions to Sharif University. And it started in 2010, and that's a biennial award. And so the winners of that award in 2010, Professor Siyavesh Ashahani from Mathematics Department. He was our professors. Many of these people in this room actually were his students. Maryam Mirzakhani was his student. So he's amazing, and he educated many brilliant minds. 2012, we recognized Professor Saeed Sorapur from Mechanical Engineering. In 2014, Professor Reza Mansouri from Physics Department. Many of us, again, were in his classes, Physics 1, Physics 2, and he's a philosopher. He's outspoken, he's the best mind ever, and he has books too. In 2016, we have Professor Mohammad Qudsi from Computer Engineering Department. And he was also the educator to many brilliant minds. Okay, so the third award is Alumni Achievement Award. That's a recognition to alumnus with outstanding achievement in industry, academia, and society, or society. So in 2012, we recognized Professor Behra Khoshnavis, one of the speakers today, from the Industrial and Systems Department of USC, the same department my wife got her PhD. And in 2014, we awarded Professor Mahmoud Tebiani from Sharif University, Electrical Engineering Department. Again, you all remember him from DSP. Amazing, amazing guy. And we went to industry in 2016. We awarded Mr. Hessam Armandehi, from Cafe Bazaar, that was a leading industry executive. The other award is for the Staff and Service Award, and that goes to, obviously, as the name reads, it's a recognition of an alumnus or staff with outstanding service to the university or SUTA. The last award was awarded to Ehsan Arspema. Mr. Ehsan Arspema, 2016, got the award. He is from Registrar Office, Daftar Amuzesh. If you remember him, and Mrs. Borghei, the other friendly face in Daftar Amuzesh, she passed away a couple of years ago, and that was the reason she couldn't get this award. She was amazing, helped so many of us throughout our applications, sending transcripts to different universities, and she did a whole lot for so many people. And also Professor Mashayekhi from Sharif University, so many know his sons from UCLA. And so he has done so much for the industry, for Sharif University, really influential guy. And in 2014, we had 4 winners of the staff. So we had Miss Afsaneh Tehrani, you remember her, from electrical engineering department. She is the secretary of the department. And Mr. Mehdi Hakimpour and also Mr. Ireza Hamzelu also got the award. And in the middle, you see us with Professor Mehdi and Professor Savari passing the award to Mr. Masoud Ajudani. He worked for electrical engineering department from the beginning. He know every break in the university. He know everything about the university, the department, everyone in it. And he was so passionate about what he did, and he actually, every little resistor in the lab, he actually took it from the boards and put it in the place as opposed to throwing them away. He was so caring about all the instruments, the components, devices. He was so helpful to the students. I was his TA for 2 lab courses. And amazing guy. Another thing that he did was every little achievement you have goes to a newspaper, and if he can find it, he actually takes that part of it and puts under a glass cover of his desk. And I saw so many of your achievements under his desk when I was TAing for him. So amazing guy. And then that takes me to the winners of this year. The winner of the Dr. Amin's Lifetime Achievement Award this year is Dr. Firuz Partovi for his contributions in physics. And he is in Seattle, and the parallel session that I said that Dr. Jalil Kamali is presenting, he's being awarded with the award today. And the other person that is not here is the staff member. I'm sure a whole lot of you know him. He is Mr. Hassan Nurbakhsh from physical education, meaning Tarbiyat Badani. And I'm sure, like, most probably a whole lot of you got like your lowest grade in your transcripts from him. So it should be somewhere in your mind. But really, really helpful guy and inspiring. And that takes me to the awardee of today. That we're gonna actually present her with the award. She is amazing. She is getting the Alumni Achievement Award, Dr. Mona Jarahi from the Electrical Engineering Department of UCLA. I think I was your teacher 2-3 times. Okay, that's a good bullet in my resume. So I would say that some of my students are brilliant, may win Nobel Prize or something. So she is amazing. So I go through short bio of hers that we found, and then we present the award to her. So this year we received 14 nominations in this category, and the list contained so many truly successful Sharif alumni, alumni from academia and also industry belonging to different age groups. And that made it particularly really difficult for the award committee to agree on one individual. So after much discussion and emails and conference calls, the award committee chose Professor Mona Jarahi from the University of California, Los Angeles. And our winner, Professor Jarahi, is a world-class expert of terahertz electronics. She actually spoke over here earlier this afternoon. And she received her bachelor's degree from Sharif University in 2000, and her master's and PhD degrees from Stanford University in 2003 and 2007, all in electrical engineering. And after short postdoc in Berkeley and faculty position in University of Michigan, Ann Arbor, she joined UCLA in 2013, where she is currently a professor of electrical engineering and the director of Terahertz Electronic Laboratory. Professor Jarrahi has made significant contributions to the development of ultra-fast optoelectronics devices, the integrated systems for terahertz and millimeter wave sensing, imaging, computing, and communication systems by utilizing novel materials, nanostructures, quantum well structures, as well as innovative plasmonic and optical concepts. And the outcome of her research have appeared in 150 publications and 120 keynote plenary invited and actually different talks. And she have received a significant amount of press coverage by different scientific news outlets like E! Times, IEEE Spectrum, the Huffington Post, and others. And Ms. Jarrahi, the Professor Jarrahi, is the recipient of several international and national prestigious awards, including the Presidential Early Career Award, which is really prestigious, for scientific and for scientists and engineers, and Friedrich Wilhelm Bessel Research Award from Alexander von Humboldt Foundation, and Moore Inventor Flowship by Betty and Gordon Moore Foundation. And in our 50th anniversary celebration of Sharif University, she received a distinguished award for top 50 distinguished alumni. That was really amazing. In 2016, Dr. Jarrahi attended and presented her research for the SUTA's biannual reunion in Washington, D.C., and she did a little bit today too. And she is a perfect example of the post-revolution outstanding Sharif University alumni whose achievements have led to our university's worldwide reputation and recognition. I wanted to ask two very outstanding people to come over here in order to present the award to her, because that's the level of the recognition we wanted to pass. I wanted to ask Professor Fatahi to come please over here and stand by me. Also Dr. Mehdi Adhamian, if you could please come over here. We wanted to have actually just Medicare eligible folks, but because you promised that for the rest of next.
Please not yet.
Yeah. For the next 135 years, he plans to be on it.
I'm supposed to be there too. Because
oh yeah, definitely.
He's already recruited me.
Yeah. Okay. Great. So cool. So do we have the award? No. Oh, Doctor, you have it.
Thank you, Dr. Nariman. Yes.
That's cool.
Yes. So I'm going to call Dr. Jarrahi to come up.
Okay.
Dr. Mona Jarrahi. I have a niece, Mona. For all the achievements that you've had, that Dr. Nariman talked about, you have been nominated, and the award committee of SUTA has elected you as the winner of this year's Alumni Achievement Award. And I, as the Rishtafid Mahal, have been selected to hand you the award.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. So, you see medical eligibility? No. So I think we leave the closing to Dr. Akhavan to do that, and thank you so much.
What an amazing day. Absolutely amazing and inspiring. We would be in touch with you to collaborate. We would love to be your partner to elevate the debate and to bring in more substance and more knowledge. I wanted to thank one more person, and that is my dad. For always been and will remain an inspiration to me and my brother. Thank you, Dad, for the example you set. I'm sure, as always, he is watching me with a tear of joy and pride. Thank you all very much. I can't thank you enough for being here. Thank you very much.